In the mountains above the Mojave Desert, far from the nearest hospital or medical research lab, a group of amateur biohackers has received worldwide attention for a series of extreme experiments to upgrade their own bodies. They call it grinding. And right now, their activities are on the fringe of society, medicine, and maybe even the law. I'm going to meet them. Maybe they're at the forefront of a revolution in biomedical technology, or maybe they just like blood. We're now officially in the middle of nowhere in the town of Tehachapi. So we are here to visit sort of the lab, the lair of this group, Science for the Masses. I have no idea what I've gotten myself into, and I think it could get a little weird. I think if all goes well, it will be really fucking weird, to be honest. Here we go. This is where we're headed. Now we're headed down, kind of a gravel road, and it seems sort of more likely we'll come across like a barn or a meth lab than like a biohacking space. I guess this is where I'm gonna, join the biohacking community. Thank you for having us here.
Absolutely, welcome.
Stoked. So yeah, this is an amazingly strange and interesting place. So let's see the rest of the space. Take me behind the plastic curtain.
Behind the plastic curtain.
I'm ready to go back here.
Yeah, okay, so actually...
Jeff is a nurse. Gabriel's unemployed. But out of this converted garage, they captured the world's imagination. Millions of people have read about their experiments, like inventing eye drops that they say give them night vision and implanting magnets and chips into their bodies. They're amateurs, but maybe they're onto something. So what is a grinder?
People who are interested in augmenting the human body.
I mean, what we're really interested in is human augmentation, exploring the boundaries of what the individual can do with science.
How do you guys imagine having your work move into the sort of broader scientific community?
We're not trying to force ourselves into a pre-existing structure. We're making something new.
One of the big problems with a lot of the research that's done in those areas is that it usually gets locked up.
It's not profitable.
We're at least making it accessible to people, and we don't have anyone telling us that we can't do that.
These guys take their work seriously. They believe they're laying the groundwork for a future in which humans enhance themselves with at-home biotechnology, both by taking new drugs and by inserting electronics directly into our flesh. And they're testing it all on themselves. In other words, they'll do the experiments that professional scientists can't or won't. They are people who think of themselves as doing science, and they're also, just kind of adventurers, almost like on the model of people who've done psychedelics. They're out here to just sort of test the limits of human experience. I think the thing that I haven't quite figured out about this crew is what really motivates them to do this. Give us the story, just, of how you guys met.
I started working on a project a long time ago and never really got very far with it. I did a lot of the all of the necessary reading and all of this stuff.
Work.
Yeah, and so I had it pretty well written up, but it got to the point of where now, unless I get an influx of, a good $5,000, it goes nowhere from there, and then he jumped in on the boards and we started talking about this, and it was kind of like, hey, I can make this happen. I can get a hold of this stuff a lot cheaper than what you're sourcing it at.
We started talking, and then a week later we had incorporated.
So what procedure are you going to do today?
Today we're doing magnet implants, but we're doing them behind each ear instead of in the fingers, which are the typical locations for magnets.
And why are you doing that?
I'm hoping that the same way that you can sort of intuitively detect what direction sounds are coming from, picking up through your ears, that having a magnet behind each ear will hopefully become a more base level, ambient, intuitive sense instead of having to consciously feel for magnetic fields.
This whole realm of electromagnetic frequencies that are coming off of your computer and your cell phone and parts of your car and stuff like that, it's out there and it's invisible because you don't have the ability to sense it. So this hacks one of your senses so that you kind of upgrade, so that you can sense this whole realm of reality that's sitting right in front of you that you never knew was there.
Putting a magnet in the body can give you a power other humans don't have. Once implanted and the nerves regrow around it, The magnets supposedly create the sensation of a light breeze or vibration when your finger gets near an electromagnetic field. It's like a whole new sense, but you have to go under the knife first. And right now, there are no doctors present.
Right. At any point,
Yeah. Like it stings, but it's intermittent. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. Right now it does.
Once he's made an incision behind Sev's ear, Jeff implants a magnet the size of a small pebble, which will allow her to sense electromagnetic radiation from things like microwaves and cell phones.
So tell me how it went. Like, the magnets are in.
Yeah, they are in. Definitely not too bad. It was definitely better than doing my fingers. Way better than doing my fingers.
That was bananas. There was a scalpel going in the back of her head, kind of digging around. You know, I'm not a body modification specialist. I am but a man interested in technology in the future, you know? The whole thing is a little overwhelming, but I feel like I'm coming to understand, like, the level of commitment that they have to sort of experimenting with themselves like this, and I actually find it, like, really impressive, to be honest.
Being able to sense magnetic fields might not seem like the most useful ability, but it is a kind of mini superpower. And grinders like Jeff and Gabriel think that it points the way to the future in which lots of these little enhancements will add up to make the human body much better and more capable than it is today. And there is a long history of people experimenting on themselves. Remember, Jonas Salk first tested the polio vaccine on himself. So I decided I needed to see firsthand what grinding was all about, and I've elected to let them implant a magnet in my finger.
This is like a voluntary thing to, you know, augment my body in a way so I can perceive something that I couldn't before, you know, and not because the doctor told me to do it, but just because I want to. Like, where does it actually
Well, we're actually gonna go here. We're gonna make an incision a little bit below where the nerve would be, and we're gonna tunnel in right here, offset from center, okay? And the reason being that after it heals, you know, you don't want that kind of rock in your shoe type of effect where anything you grasp when the pressure is applied, it causes pain.
If all goes well, I'll have the ability to sense magnetic fields with my hand. Every time I go through an airport security scanner or turn on a microwave, I'll get a little tingle in my finger.
So I'm getting ready to make the incision now. Just don't move.
Just don't move.
If you gotta sneeze, let me know.
Okay, I'm not gonna sneeze. Now comes the tunneling.
Exactly. Feeling a little? Mm-hmm. Right now, we have the magnet. We're ready to go.
Here goes the magnet. Oh, there it is.
Now let's turn it over.
Oh, it's turning.
Yeah, you see it in there?
Mm-hmm.
Just caught the metal.
Yeah, cut that skizzers. Twisted.
I gotta reposition the magnet, I think, before we close.
No. You should push it through because the needle is the thing that's stopping it from moving.
I gotta really twist you a bit here.
Do what you need to do. There it is. Oh, yeah.
And the depth is beautiful.
It's in.
Absolutely.
It's actually in. Wow. The incision wasn't really the thing that made me squeamish. It was, you know, this process they were calling tunneling, where they had to actually, like, go in with the little scalpel into my finger to make a little pocket to put the magnet in. And as Jeff was doing that, I was kind of looking down there, almost like having an out-of-body experience, just like that's my finger being tunneled into by a scalpel. And when can I actually start playing with it?
3 weeks to a month, okay? But don't expect like real high sensitivity at that point. You might be disappointed, but you know what? By like 3 months to 6 months, that's when you're getting
you
real high
scroll back.
sensitivity. Yeah.
Ultimately, grinders want to change how we think about human bodies. They think that we're a technology that can be understood and that we can augment our bodies and enhance our senses. So maybe we shouldn't wait to just break down and have medical doctors fix us. These magnets may never catch on, and the experiments that they do may never teach mainstream science anything. But their message, that our bodies are hackable, may become a foundation of the coming century.